Hello, my name is Peter Dedeo.
Marianne Stanti.
We're building a video game that teaches people Spanish.
You may have seen a lot of new language learning apps recently. That's because there's a big demand, but no one solution teaches users an organic fluency.
The resources are scattered all over the web, have low entertainment value, retention, and ultimately fluency rates.
You could take courses, but even after years of expensive classes, the majority of people aren't really fluent, and many don't even feel comfortable holding simple conversation.
You could download an app or buy an expensive software, but even after a 300-day streak, all you know how to do is translate. When you try to have a conversation, you just can't get the words out.
Lastly, you could study abroad, which is how we learned. It's the most expensive option, and it can take months or years, but it's the most fun and effective experience.
We want to bring that same experience to the user's computer, so they can learn how to think fluently and feel comfortable in conversation just by playing through our game.
How do we do this? Let's say Peter wants to learn Spanish. He simply goes online and downloads our game.
The first thing I practice is pronunciation, because research shows if I can recognize the sounds in my new language, I can more easily remember words and grammar. It's hard to remember foreign-sounding words and names, so this way I become a native listener first. By listening to Spanish words I already know, like guitarra or
teléfono.
This is the perfect foundation for language learning.
Next, Peter acquires some vocabulary. Instead of translating words and phrases, he explores museums, nightclubs, or marketplaces, as if he was traveling through Spain. Unlike a regular vacation, though, Peter can walk up to people with confidence, without fear, and can click on any object to see its word in Spanish.
For example,
vino rojo
or
libro.
This is the way humans naturally learn language, building fluency rather than translation skills.
By doing this, Peter will progress a lot faster, retain information longer, and have a better time doing it than rote memorization.
There are similar features that teach grammar, writing, and reading, and once I've practiced these, I can immediately apply my most recent lessons by playing through story mode. I speak new words or phrases into the microphone to make key decisions that change the storyline, so I emotionally engage with learning and keep going back to learn more and more.
We've reached out to some of our core users and got some great feedback. They asked for more details and even a release date.
Part of that excitement comes from their sincere frustration with the market now.
Trying to learn a new language is a big time commitment. There are over 100 apps, 15 major softwares, and any number of teachers and tutors to try before you find what combination works for you.
So what makes us stand out in this huge market?
First, we save you time by leveraging cognitive learning principles that make your learning experience efficient.
Second, we're the first language learning software that teaches using a fully 3D video game platform. With the rise and popularity of gamified learning, this is a huge competitive advantage.
Third, there is no translation to English from Spanish or from Spanish to English. Instead, our game teaches users how to think fluently.
So a man who speaks Cantonese could learn Spanish just as easily as a woman who speaks Hindi.
Finally, we're selling our game at a fraction of the price of our paid competition. We will sell the game on Steam, which is like the App Store for video games. $20 buys you the first installment, and $5 buys every subsequent downloadable storyline.
Our two demographics, language learners and computer gamers, have large overlap, especially among males aged 13 to 30, all over the world, which is who we'll first corner before moving on to corner the whole language learning marketplace.
Now is the perfect time to make this game. The price of production has precipitously dropped since even a few years ago, while the demand for language learning has continuously been growing.
We're in a perfect position to make this game, as we represent our market and very well know it intimately. We're both lifetime language learners and computer gamers. Really, we started this company because we're solving a very personal problem: how to best learn a new language.
Peter and I, we met while working on a previous startup venture, the Drexel Hyperloop. After realizing we had this passion and drive in common, we started building an expert team, researching how people learn language, and designing the mechanics of our game. This time a year ago, we won the Drexel Fast Pitch competition. This year, we want to become part of the Baiada community. With the resources we want to incorporate, buy the appropriate hardware to finish our MVP, and secure investors like Glimpse Group, who has already shown interest in us.
We're making a video game that teaches Spanish through story, dialogue, and immersion. We're operating in a $25 billion market with a large opportunity to corner two popular but underrepresented niches: interactive movie video games and language learning. We've organized our team, designed the game, and in a month built all the major components of our MVP.
We are Immergo.
We're making the game that teaches people to think fluently.